doinking out there, eh? That wind's like, oh, what has it? Fucking hot there. I'll get fucked. Oh! I'm doing that.
Warrick's like my hero, eh? He's sort of been someone who's really mentored me through some of the more challenging years of my life.
There was this grommet on the side of the road with his surfboard just at the Yanchep turn off on Wanneroo Road with his thumb out wanting a lift, and I thought, I wonder who this kid is. So I pulled over. I was by myself going to Lancelin for a surf, so I pulled over and opened the door, and in jumped Jake Harman. That was my first experience of Jake.
I think as a space, having this shop here, it gives me a place to take what I've got in my mind and turn it into reality. And it gives me a lot of time and a lot of reason to sort of really experiment on feelings that I would like to feel and then take that to the water.
This space is my studio. This is like my second home now. So yeah, if I'm not at home, 9 times out of 10 you'll find me here, and if I'm not here, I'll probably be at the beach.
If I can create a space where like the young crew can sort of A, meet each other, and B, get to know the guys in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, 60s, so on. I think a lot of the time when you're young, the core question of why you enter any sort of relationship with anyone older, it's like, what do you do? How do you live? Does that suit me? How can I do what you do?
I think I can really, I guess, be part of hopefully a really nice movement within the space here, as far as the other workshops that are around here too. I know Jake's just behind me, and he's got people coming and going, making surfboards there, and it'd be cool if I can have that sort of interaction and that sort of I guess sharing of space with other artists, ceramic artists would be cool.
I think when I met sort of someone like Warrick or Chris McKenzie at Ocean Line or Moose or any of those guys, particularly Josh Doherty, those guys were way like, I want to do what you guys do. But that was hard to find. Whereas I think, like, I want to sort of create a space that Grimes can kind of find that pretty naturally. And then I think that maybe gives a lot of purpose to the older guys as well, who can sort of, like, the passing of knowledge from generation to generation is sort of the most masculine, basic male things.
Yeah, it's been the last couple of years, well, probably 3 years really, has been pretty tricky for me. I was diagnosed with a condition called myelofibrosis, which is basically the destruction of your bone marrow. So it's not real great. It's been a time of quite strong inflection, looking at myself and where I am in this world, I guess, in a way, and how I can navigate myself through this journey. And I remember when I very first got diagnosed, a very good friend of mine at the time, who also has been dealing with a cancer diagnosis and has been battling it for some time, said to me, "Look, Warrick, cancer, it's not a sprint race, it's a marathon." That resonated with me quite strongly, and it is that is very true. Like, I've been 3 years into this diagnosis, and I've had quite a lot of treatment, but I'm still sort of battling it. I didn't surf for about 3 months, and that was tricky. It was very hard for someone who loves to surf, loves to be in the water, and that was part of me. It was part of my identity.
Definitely, I've had a hard time, like, probably with my family situations. One thing that kind of led me to make my life harder than it needed to be, and sort of set me up with a certain set of thought patterns that probably weren't the healthiest, and led me to go down a sort of darker path in terms of essentially sabotaging every opportunity that came along my way. It takes myself a lot of discipline to get out of bed and go to work and get the things I want. But I think at the end of the day, I kind of believe that, like, a friend of mine, he's passed away now, Pete Lenny, but he said to me, I was having a hard time surfing. I couldn't really get my head around a cutback, and he's like, "Mate, you can go anywhere you want on a wave." And I think to where I've, like, extrapolated that in my life is that I believe you can go anywhere you want. You can go there, and you just have to do it. Maybe you can't do everything you want to do, but you can do anything. Like, that's everything's kind of achievable if you sort of set a goal, then make a plan to get there, and then just stick to keeping on that path. You can sort of get anywhere.
Ultimately, you just got to get out there and keep on going, really. That's what I've done, really. Just trying to get in the water, go for a paddle, okay, might not be able to paddle as far as you did before this diagnosis, and, can't surf for as long as I used to, but, I still find joy in it. I still love it. I just ride different surfboards now, and, probably in some ways, it's sort of opened me up to a different way of surfing and a different way of looking at the ocean, a different way of working in my studio, and it's sort of cool in a way too. It's sort of, the surfing I'm doing is just really mellow surfing, and I'm not sort of trying to whip the crap out of the wave anymore, like I used to. Trying to destroy it. I'm just I just try and flow with it more, and just ride softer waves in a way, but have just as much fun, really, to be honest with you. And with my work, I'm still making, I believe, good work. It's not as big as it was physically. Those sort of large pieces that I've made in the past, they may be a while coming again, but at the moment, the work I'm doing, I'm really happy with, and it still speaks, communicates what I want to say. So in clay, so I'm pretty happy, really. Yeah, I mean, Jake's ended up at my place a couple of times and spent some nights at my house as well. You know, I think he's got a few demons at times, which is probably, you know, I don't know whether or not staying with me's been able to, you know, help him out in any way. I don't really know.
I would strive to be in the situation he's in. He sort of taught me a lot about how it meant, like what it meant to be really open, just in the way he interacted with me, and kind and loving and really nurturing towards me. Sort of maybe the man I would like to grow into as I get older would be, it would have to be like influenced by Warrick a lot.
We'll make sure he gets involved.
It's awesome that he's got he's got his surfboard studio right behind my studio in the same complex here, and we see each other quite often now. You know, when he's around making his boards, I'm in here as well, so we always have a catch up and a chat. And yeah, he's a nice guy, and I like him a lot. Good luck to the kid. I hope he goes well.